Source: Verde AgriTech PLC Toronto, May 28, 2018. Globe NEWSWIRE: Verde AgriTech PLC TSX, NPK, OTCQB, AMHPF. Verde, or the company, is pleased to announce a broader line of Super Greensand products and the first sales of its new Super Greensand Granular to its US distributor. The first shipment occurred in May 2018. Super Greensand Granular is part of the Super Greensand matrix of products, composed of Super Greensand Micronized fine powder where 95% of the particles will pass through a 200 mesh screen. Ideal for soil mixes, irrigation and hydroponic systems, soil mixes, blending, home gardens and potted plants. Super Greensand powder, for longer-term results, is suitable for agriculture and gardens, potting soils, soil mixes and composting. Super Greensand Granular, granulated from powder, easier to handle, nutrients are released according to the needs of the plants. Ideal for broadcast spreading, fertilizer blends and starter fertilizers. On June 20, 2017, Verde appointed a leading North American distributor specialized in the markets for organic agriculture and cannabis distributor to sell Super Greensand with exclusive rights over the Pacific Northwest region of the USA and non-exclusive distribution rights for the rest of the country. Super Greensand Micronized has been supplied to distributors since 2017 and is also being sold on Amazon.com, online market where Verde expects to introduce the powder and granular products in the coming months. Amazon's Choice Super Greensand Micronized has been awarded the label of Amazon's Choice, which means that Amazon independently recommends the product to the consumers of the marketplace. Amazon bestows the label on popular products and products that are highly rated. Super Greensand Micronized has been available for less than 2 months on Amazon's website. We are proud of being granted the Amazon's Choice label. Almost 50% of Amazon inventory was sold in less than 60 days and a new shipment of Micronized will be sent by the end of June. We hope to soon increase supply of Super Greensand with the granular and powder versions, commented President. Verde's pre-feasibility study (PFS), announced in November 27, 2017, covers only the potential Brazilian market when calculating a post-tax net present value discounted at 8% of $1.98 billion and internal rate of return of 290%. The PFS does not take into account any existing or future international sales. About Verde AgriTech. Verde AgriTech promotes sustainable and profitable agriculture through the development of its Cerrado Verde project. Cerrado Verde, located in the heart of Brazil's largest agricultural market, it is the source of a potassium-rich deposit from which the company intends to produce solutions for crop nutrition, crop protection, soil improvement and increased sustainability. For additional information, please contact Cristiano Veloso, President. These standards differ significantly from the requirements of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Mineral resources which are not mineral reserves do not have demonstrated economic viability. This document contains forward-looking information within the meaning of Canadian securities legislation and forward-looking statements within the meaning of the United States Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. This information and these statements, referred to herein as forward-looking statements, are made as of the date of this document. Forward-looking statements relate to future events or future performance and reflect current estimates, predictions, expectations or beliefs regarding future events and include, but are not limited to, statements with respect to the estimated amount and grade of mineral resources and mineral reserves, the PFS representing a viable development option for the project, estimates of the capital costs of constructing mine facility, Any statements that express or involve discussions with respect to predictions, expectations, beliefs, plans, projections, objectives or future events or performance, often, but not always, using words or phrases such as expects, anticipates, plans, projects, estimates, envisages, assumes, intends, strategy, goals, objectives, or variations thereof, or stating that certain actions, events or results may, could, would, might, or will be taken, occur, be achieved, or the negative of any of these terms and similar expressions, are not statements of historical fact and may be forward-looking statements. All forward-looking statements are based on Verde's or its consultants' current beliefs as well as various assumptions made by them and information currently available to them. The most significant assumptions are set forth above, but generally these assumptions include the presence of and continuity of resources and reserves at the project at estimated grades, the geotechnical and metallurgical characteristics of rock conforming to sampled results, including the quantities of water and the quality of the water that must be diverted or treated during mining operations, the capacity Greensand sales prices, market size and exchange rate assumed, appropriate discount rates applied to the cash flows in the economic analysis, tax rates and royalty rates applicable to the proposed mining operation, the availability of acceptable financing under assumed structure and costs, anticipated mining losses and dilution, reasonable contingency requirements, success in realizing proposed operations, receipt of permits and other regulatory approvals on acceptable terms, and the fulfillment of environmental assessment commitments and arrangements with local communities. Although management considers these assumptions to be reasonable based on information currently available to it, they may prove to be incorrect. Many forward-looking statements are made assuming the correctness of other forward-looking statements, such as statements of net present value and internal rates of return, which are based on most of the other forward-looking statements and assumptions herein. The cost information is also prepared using current values, but the time for incurring the costs will be in the future and it is assumed costs will remain stable over the relevant period. By their very nature, forward-looking statements involve inherent risks and uncertainties, both general and specific, and risks exist that estimates, forecasts, projections and other forward-looking statements will not be achieved or that assumptions do not reflect future experience. We caution readers not to place undue reliance on these forward-looking statements as a number of important factors could cause the actual outcomes to differ materially from the beliefs, plans, objectives, expectations, anticipations, estimates, assumptions and intentions expressed in such forward-looking statements. These risk factors may be generally stated as the risk that the assumptions and estimates expressed above do not occur as forecast, but specifically include, without limitation, risks relating to variations in the mineral content within the material identified as mineral resources and mineral reserves from that predicted, variations in rates of recovery and extraction, the geotechnical characteristics of the rock mined or through the estimated capital and operating costs or unanticipated costs, difficulties attracting the necessary workforce, increases in financing costs or adverse changes to the terms of available financing, if any, tax rates or royalties being greater than assumed, changes in development or mining plans due to changes in logistical, technical or other factors, changes in project parameters as it cautions that the foregoing list of factors that may affect future results is not exhaustive. When relying on our forward-looking statements to make decisions with respect to Verde, investors and others should carefully consider the foregoing factors and other uncertainties and potential events. Verde does not undertake to update any forward-looking statement, whether written or oral, that may be made from time to time by Verde or on our behalf, except as required by law.